Right.
Okay.
Let me. Next question. So we have a requirement that the payment needs to be paid to other suppliers, not the exact supplier what we got the invoice, but we have to pay to other suppliers as well. Okay, this is a shortcut. First, tell me, can I do the payment to any of the supplier? So generally, whatever the invoice we got the from supplier, let's say ABC supplier is there. Okay, we got the invoice from the ABC supplier. Then we can pay to the ABC supplier only. The same invoice. I have to pay to the same invoice. Okay, but I can pay to only ABC supplier because ABC supplier is the initiator for the invoice. Now the requirement is, can I do the payment to any of the supplier? So for the same invoice, do we have any options? If you
Yes.
say, okay, tell me what is the procedure?
So we can use the third party payment option that way only we can process that payments.
Okay, so can you explain like what is the steps and procedure?
So that manage payment option, we have that third party payment enable. So there we need to add that which are who we need to pay that vendor name. So we need to add that details there.
Where?
So that invoice manage invoice option.
Manage invoice options level, you can provide the supplier details.
No, the third party payable or payment option will come.
Okay. Anybody? Okay. Actually, the requirement will be like, so let's say ABC supplier is there. Okay. So ABC supplier will have, you know, uh, some child companies. Okay. So we are getting some invoices from child suppliers. Okay. Now the ABC suppliers came to us and asked me to make the payment directly to ABC supplier. So maybe we are getting the invoices with the child company names, but the payment should be go to the ABC supplier only. So this is the requirement in real time. Now the options we have, uh, third party payment options. So here, what are the procedure? We can do this. First, level, supplier site level, you can add third party suppliers, third party payment. For the third party payment, we can add the suppliers. Okay. And next level, invoice options level, you can enable, allow remit to supplier override third party payment option. Okay. So go to manage installments. There you can see remit to supplier. So before enabling, so this is the option invoice, manage invoice options level. If you don't enable allow remit to supplier, then it will not show in manage installments level. So when you enable the allow remit to supplier override for third party payments option at manage invoice options, then you can see the changes in manage installments for invoice. So before that allow, sorry, remit to supplier, it will not show. So once you enable that, then it will show. Then there you can select the supplier, other third party supplier. Before that, you have to provide the third party supplier at supplier site level. So after that only you can find the the listed supplier in invoice level. And one more thing is payment option. Payment options level, go to manage payment options. There you can see allow pay override for third party payments. So using this option, when you are trying to do the payment at payment screen, once you selected the supplier, in the below, you can see payee additional field. So before selecting supplier, payee will not be shown. Okay, I mean, before enabling allow payee override third party option for the payment options level, if you don't enable it, it will not show the payee option for the payment screen. Only once you enable the allow payee third party override third party option at payment options level, then you can see the changes in payment screen. Once you select the supplier, it will show the payee list below. You can pick the one of the supplier whatever you needed to, so to make the payment. So directly you can select the payee, but the invoice is same invoice. Whatever the invoice you are looking for, you can select the same invoice and you can do the payment. There you can see uh, supplier is different, payee supplier is different, but the same invoice. Payment will go for the same invoice, and ABC supplier account will be cleared irrespective of payment what we are doing. So payment it can be go to another payee, but our supplier, whatever the supplier, ABC supplier, we got the invoice rate. So it will be clear. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now tell me, can we create duplicate invoices? And if you have a duplicate invoices in our system, how can I validate? Is there any option? How can I restrict the duplicate invoices creation in AP? Can system will be allowed to create a duplicate invoices? Anybody? So if you search the option called evaluate duplicate invoice holding due to during invoicing, during validation. So మాకు ఇన్వాయిస్ ఆప్షన్స్ లోకి వెళ్తే ఆప్షన్ ఉంటుంది. So we have to enable it. Okay. So then you can hold the duplicated invoices to not go for further. మనం ఇన్వాయిస్ క్రియేషన్ అప్పుడు ఈ డూప్లికేషన్స్ we can identify using this enablement. So manage invoice options level, where you can enable this evaluate duplicate invoice hold during the validation. So what do you know about payment request and payable payment request? So generally how we can pronounce it? I mean, how do we call this a payment request? Anybody knows about the payment request? Anybody?
Request is to initiate a payment and it doesn't directly pay a supplier, but it acts as a formal request.
Mhm. Any other?
This payment profile request using for the multi
No, 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 no,
invoices.
no. I'm not asking a payment process uh, request. This is a payment request, payable payment request. It's not about PPR. So this is like one time payment, and payment request is like one time payment. So I have already told you that we have two different of payment request, external and internal. Okay, expenses for employee expenses reports and customer refunds. We used to do using this payment request type. And external also we can do the uh, payment request process. So that is everyday template. Internal and external. Internal is expenses, employee expenses reimbursement and customer refund process. That is internal. External is everyday third party, third party payments from everyday template. So using these two options, we can do the one time payments. So here we don't need to create any supplier. Okay. Using this template, we can create directly invoice and payment. No, nothing required for the supplier creation. Okay. No, and also it will not save the supplier. This is one time supplier payment.